From nuclear-powered subs to AI-powered drones, these upgrades are set to transform Russia's battlefield reach. In 2026, Russia's military-industrial complex is set to introduce a new wave of weapon systems across nearly every domain of warfare. A number of long-running projects are expected to reach key testing stages or enter service, while others will appear in updated configurations shaped by recent operational experience. Together, these developments offer a useful snapshot of where Russian military technology is headed in the near term. RT provides an overview of the most significant platforms and systems that are likely to define the next stage of modernization for Russia's armed forces, from strategic missiles and submarines to air defense systems, combat aircraft, and unmanned technologies. These programs reflect a consistent focus on survivability, automation, and asymmetric advantage, as well as a clear intent to integrate new solutions rapidly into active service. Seen in this light, the developments expected in 2026 are best understood not as speculative prototypes, but as practical upgrades intended for immediate use by Russia's strategic forces, Navy, Air Force, and ground troops. Fifth-generation aircraft, the Su-75 Checkmate. The first flight of the new single-seat, single-engine supersonic fifth-generation fighter, known as the Su-75 Checkmate, is expected in 2026. The mock-up was first unveiled at the MAKS Air Show in August 2021. Following construction, the aircraft is preparing for test flights.
The Su-75 holds tremendous export potential and is a highly sought-after addition to the Russian Air Force's frontline fleet. This aircraft will replace the MiG-29. In the global market, it will compete with contemporary 4++ generation aircraft like the F-16 and others. The Su-75 is designed to be stealthy, maneuverable, and supersonic. Its versatility makes it suitable for both air-to-air combat and strike missions. This will be the first single-engine jet fighter built in Russia. Fighters of this class, i.e. MiG-21s and MiG-23s, were produced in the Soviet Union and formed the backbone of the USSR's frontline fighter aircraft for many years. Strategic Underwater Deterrence, Project 09851 Khabarovsk. The Khabarovsk, a new Project 09851 nuclear-powered submarine constructed by the Sevmosh Company in Severodinsk, is expected to begin sea trials in 2026. The Khabarovsk is no usual submarine. It will serve as the main carrier of Poseidon nuclear-powered unmanned underwater vehicles, UUVs, which are already undergoing testing. Currently, the submarine Belgrade is involved in these tests, but the Khabarovsk will serve as the primary carrier of the UUVs. 6 launchers for Poseidon UUVs will be installed in the bow of the submarine, and it can also be equipped with torpedo weapons for self-defense. The technical solutions used in the construction of the Khabarovsk submarine draw on the developments for another strategic Russian submarine, the Borei-A project. This ensures the successful completion, testing, and adoption of the submarine with the unique Poseidon system into the Russian Navy. Next-generation intercontinental missiles, replacing the Topo-M. This year, we can also expect test launches of new solid-fuel intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs. In 2026-2027, they could begin to replace Topo-M missiles deployed in the late 1990s. Both silo-based and mobile-launched missile versions are likely to be tested. While the specific capabilities of these new missiles remain unknown, it is reasonable to assume they will utilize more advanced solid propellant technology and potentially feature guided hypersonic warheads instead of traditional ballistic warheads. Unlike the payloads of avant-garde missiles, these warheads could represent a second generation of ICBM hypersonic equipment. Sarmat, the flagship of Russia's nuclear forces. The heavy liquid-fueled Sarmat ICBM is set to enter the final phase of its flight testing program. Once this stage is complete, the missile will be officially adopted into service and deployed within Russia's Strategic Rocket Forces Division based in Uzhur. Sarmat will replace the older Voyvoda ICBM, which was developed in the late 1980s. In terms of energy capabilities, Sarmat surpasses the Voyvoda and any other ICBM worldwide. It will likely carry multiple payload options, including at least 10 to 14 conventional ballistic warheads or several Product 4202 class hypersonic gliding warheads utilized in the Avangard system. Its combat capabilities will make Sarmat the flagship of Russia's nuclear deterrent forces. Hypersonic strike at sea, Zircon and the Yasin M fleet. The Zircon air-launched ballistic missile has proven itself in the Russian military operation in Ukraine, and production is expected to ramp up in 2026. Efforts are certainly underway to modernize these missiles. The K-572 Perm nuclear submarine of the Yasin M885M project, which is currently undergoing trials and is expected to enter service in 2026, will be equipped with new Zircon missiles. This submarine will be the first operational platform to carry the underwater launch variant of the Zircon missile. All Yasin M-class submarines that are currently under construction will also be supplied with these missiles. Eventually, earlier models of the Yasin class will be upgraded as well. This will significantly enhance the anti-ship and anti-aircraft capabilities of the Russian Navy. Admiral Nakhimov, restoring heavy surface combat power.
In 2026, the heavy nuclear-powered missile cruiser Admiral Nakhimov will continue sea trials and could even complete them. We can expect demonstrations of its capability to launch Zircon hypersonic missiles alongside other weapon systems. Once fully operational, Admiral Nakhimov is set to become the most powerful warship in the Russian Navy and one of the most heavily armed surface combatants in the world. Strategic Air and Missile Defense S-500 Prometheus. Deployment of the S-500 Prometheus missile system will continue this year. Currently, this is Russia's most advanced anti-ballistic missile system, capable of countering virtually any ballistic missile threat. These unique systems are expected to be positioned in high-risk areas and near critical sites that require robust protection against aerial attacks or threats from near space. Countering the drone threat, FPV interceptors and AI systems. Several types of interceptor drones are being developed for the Russian ground forces. These drones are designed to protect against enemy FPV drones along the front lines. The creation of FPV interceptors utilizing AI in their control systems will ensure effective detection and guaranteed engagement of enemy kamikaze drones. Importantly, the cost of this solution should be significantly lower than that of missiles for air defense systems. This urgent challenge can be addressed through the implementation of advanced digital systems in the mass production of drones. Ground robotics and the rise of unmanned formations. New types of ground drones are also being developed. Throughout 2025, we observed a significant increase in the use of ground robots in the zone of Russian military operation. This trend is set to continue in 2026, with various new drones being deployed, including firing point drones, anti-tank guided missile drones, mobile autonomous carriers for FPV drones, and drones designed for transporting injured personnel and ammunition. Wherever wheeled or tracked ground robots can be utilized, they are expected to become integral to military operations. The groundwork for this has already been laid. In 2026, we expect the completion of the establishment of a new branch of the Russian armed forces dedicated to unmanned systems. While this is particularly useful for the ground forces, the Navy and Air Force will also benefit from these developments. Modern artillery for ground forces, Koalitsia SV. Ground troops anticipate the arrival of new Koalitsia SV 152mm self-propelled howitzers. These systems feature not only advanced electronics, but also a new artillery platform comparable to the best Western analogs. It's quite possible that the Koalitsia will be adapted to a wheeled chassis similar to that of the Malva and Hyacinth K self-propelled artillery systems. Taken together, the developments expected throughout 2026 demonstrate more than incremental upgrades. They reflect a coherent evolution of Russia's armed forces across all domains, from strategic missiles and nuclear-powered submarines to advanced air defense, combat aircraft, and unmanned systems. The emphasis is on survivability, automation, and operational versatility. These systems are not theoretical or experimental. They are being integrated into service-ready units, ready to reshape the capabilities of Russia's strategic, naval, air, and ground forces. For observers of global security, 2026 offers a clear view of how the Russian military is modernizing, not through sheer numbers, but through the careful deployment of technologically sophisticated, asymmetric, and highly adaptable tools of warfare. In short, this year marks a critical phase in the transformation of the Russian military-industrial complex, a phase in which modernization and readiness converge, and where every new system contributes to a more resilient and capable defense posture.